Welcome to the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative Eddy. The Sports Bros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. Oh, yes, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for another action-packed episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. B-Live, I won't mention nothing about Monday Night Raw this episode, so we'll just go ahead and bypass that. I go by the name of the HOC, a.k.a. Captain Shiny Face himself, because it's hot up here in Cleveland, Ohio, but it's all good, though. It's all good, fine, well, and dandy. Of course, you know I can't do this by myself. I have not only one, but two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first, the almighty B-Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? 166 episodes strong. And man, I'm here for it. Can y'all believe this? That we are since it's Tuesday, we're 2 days away from preseason football.
Yes.
We're
what?
2 days. Yes. We're 2 days away. I'm so excited that I don't even remember who's playing, but we're gonna have some football. And we're not talking about USFL. We're not talking about XFL. We're not talking about fan control football. We're talking about the National Football League preseason. Man, I'm excited, but there's other things we're gonna talk about. I had that on my chest. So, I'm excited. There's other things we're going to talk about. There's another guy to introduce. Go ahead and introduce the other guy so he can go ahead and sing us something. Sing poorly, but that's what he does. So we're going to allow him to do it. So here we go. I mean, we keep doing it every week. So, I mean. Yeah.
And serenading us as only as he can. He is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. None other than the money man, Scottie D.
I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night because it's the trade deadline. All kind of stuff is going on. The Tuesday trade deadline is upon us for Major League Baseball. The Yankees already making some moves. Got Montes, the pitcher from Oakland. As of this recording, nothing yet on the Juan Soto deal that I am aware of. I mean, the clock is ticking, so it's always kind of fun at this time to see who's going to be getting the deck shuffled here and who's making the push for the final stretch, because here we go, boys. It is August, and as you mentioned, preseason football. That's real stuff. That's real football. That's not that goofy stuff you guys watch the rest of the year. It's not, like you said, it's not fantasy football or what's the video game everybody plays, the Madden game, is that Madden? The Madden game on the Atari. The Madden football on the Atari. We're talking about real football here.
John Madden is rolling over in his grave right now. I can't believe you would disrespect him. Like, what we're not going to do is disrespect someone else today. As we disrespected John Madden, but we gonna pay respect to a true icon, a legend that we lost.
Let's do it.
So Eddy, cool, bring us in, my man.
All right, everybody, let's hop right into it. The top of the order. All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order. All right, it's B-Live, and Scottie D mentioned a legend passed away yesterday at the age of 88. Bill Russell, Hall of Fame basketball player for the Boston Celtics and 11-time world champion, passed away at age 88. The major sports networks were mad disrespectful. Shout out to Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp for giving this for talking about it, because it's important, because just because what happened to Deshaun Watson, we'll talk about that coming up shortly. Bill Russell does not deserve to take a back seat for Deshaun Watson. So our thoughts on the life and legacy of Bill Russell. What are your thoughts, fellas?
Well, simply put, he was a trailblazer. He doesn't get mentioned as much as some of the other icons when it comes to civil rights, when it comes to the inequities that players face at the time, because he wasn't that type of person. He wasn't the type of person that fought a fight to be in the headlines. He fought the fight because that's who he was. And for what Bill Russell did throughout his entire career, from college, from high school to college, on to the professional level, is second to none. There are certain things that will never be matched in the history of basketball. It will never be touched in team sports. 11 championships. And sometimes it gets downplayed because there were only 8 teams in the league. I don't care. He was the best player on the best team in the 60s, and he has all the jewelry to show for it. And you cannot mention the all-time greats when it comes to basketball without mentioning his name. This is the same dude that averaged in if I'm not mistaken, it was either high school or college. I believe it was college. University of San Francisco. He averaged 20 points a game, averaged 20 rebounds a game, but because of political bureaucracy, he wasn't even named the best athlete in the northern part of California. And that's the kind of scrutiny he faced his entire career. And all he did was win 2 college national championships, won a gold medal in the Olympic Games, and then turned around and won 11 championships for the Boston Celtics. All the while people were vandalizing his home, breaking into his home while he was out of town, and yet he still stood. And yet he still made an impact. This is the same guy that actually Dr. Martin Luther King invited him up on the stage during his infamous I Have a Dream speech, and he declined it because he said he hadn't done enough. When everybody else would have probably taken that time to be in the limelight, he said, no, I haven't done enough. And that's the kind of stuff that doesn't get talked about. We spend half of our times debating on who's the greatest of all time, different eras, different times and everything. And his name hardly ever gets brought up because he played in the era with only 8 teams. He played in the era against Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain was scoring everything and everything. But the impact that Bill Russell had on the game, and the fact that 7 out of 8 times that Bill Russell went against Wilt Chamberlain in the playoffs, Bill Russell won. And it just speaks to his unselfish play. He knew his role. He grabbed boards. He blocked shots. He made all of his other teammates available. He knew there were better shooters on the team. But he also knew that he could dominate the game if he wanted to. But why? His unselfish play led the Boston Celtics to 11 championships. And then he turned around on top of that. His last 2 years was the coach of the team, the first ever black head coach in the NBA, and won 2 more titles as a player coach, which once again is unheard of. I want to preach that Bill Russell, at this moment of time, we've got to recognize who he was on the court and off the court. And it's one of those things where it is almost unfortunate that we do not give him his flowers while he was yet still alive. But if any time we can understand this, he wasn't that type of person that wanted to hear his accolades anyway. He just knew who he was. He knew who he stood on, what he stood for. And the respect is unanimous across the board. Bill Russell was that guy. And he will forever be enshrined as one of the greatest players of all time. Mount Rushmore of basketball. Bill Russell will always be there, immortalized. And there's not much else you can say about that, man. Scottie D, I know you have thoughts as well. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with happiness because even though he's not here to hear all of this, his work is what he did speaks for itself, and he knows that. And now he can rest. No more pain.
Yeah, he was during the height of his career in the 60s. That was like really the time of segregation, and he became like a breakthrough professional athlete in Boston. He became an icon of sorts in the Boston area for people of color, and was always beloved. He became beloved there. He was, you never heard any controversy about him. He was never, at least not from where I'm sitting. I was not around during that era, but his reputation was spotless. I mean, people always spoke well of this guy. You never heard any disrespect with his name. He became beloved and respected to the point that the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player award is named in his honor, and he was always there. I mean, whenever you see like NBA had a celebration, an all-star celebration, or a celebration of the greatest players of all time, he would show up. He would be holding the most valuable trophy. I mean, he did that type of stuff, and the younger generation always appreciated this guy. Maybe he doesn't get his name put quite as high on the list. And I think that's what B-Live is alluding to as far as getting the respect, because other players maybe a little bit more flashy than he was, gets a little bit more credit. But he was very well appreciated and respected by even the younger generation. I think generation to generation passed down the word. This dude was the man back in the day. And like you said, he got the best of Wilt Chamberlain team-wise. And that was really probably even to this day, I would say, the greatest big man rivalry in the history of basketball. Those two guys, at the top of their game while their teams were at the top, and Bill Russell came out, and I'm not a Celtics fan, but give credit to where he's doing. Him and his team were the better team of that era. And he was, like you say, he probably could have had better numbers had he wanted to, but he bought into the whole team organization, the whole team concept back then. And so much respect to Bill Russell. Congratulations on an incredible legacy. 11 rings, and like I said, to have the most valuable player award of the finals, because he is the guy that won it the most times. That's an honor that speaks for itself. So, it's sad to see him go, because he was kind of a link to that past era. Wilt Chamberlain's been gone since 1999. That's it's been a long time since he's been with us. So this is a sad day to lose that link, an important person from an important era. So rest in peace, Bill Russell. Much respect.
There's not much that I can say that you guys haven't already said. Bill Russell is one of the greats, no doubt. 11-time NBA champion, 5-time league MVP. Like they said, well, he only did it in the league with only 8 teams. Look, cut the crap. Look, he did it when it counted the most, and to get his team to win 11 championships in that amount of time. Think about, like, one man had a role in that. And as you said, he didn't worry about, it wasn't all about him. Bill Russell was selfless. I'm looking over here, he's a 12-time All-Star, and he only averaged 15.1 points a game, 22.5 rebounds per game, and 4.3 assists per game. So what was he doing? He was grabbing the rebound and kicking it out. Grabbing the rebound and kicking it out. Finding the next man running down the floor. It's like, that's the whole thing. And he knew he could dominate the game. But you know what? He thought smart. He said, I'm going to be a key component to help win this championship. Because everybody is so focused on trying to defend me. You got the other guys open out there. They weren't shooting threes back in. They were shooting 2-pointers. So I'm just going to kick it out here, kick it out there, and we're just going to run up and down the floor and hope that you can keep up with it. So, the ultimate, one of the legends himself. I consider him one of the best to ever do it in any sport. Rest in peace, Mr. Bill Russell. Moving right along, Kyler Murray, fellas. He got some language in his contract. It got leaked. He got to do some studying. 4 hours a day in his contract. And then the Cardinals said, well, wait a minute, let's go ahead and retract that statement and go ahead and retract out the contract. Oh, no. It's become public knowledge. So 4 hours of study time. What does this say to you about the Cardinals organization and how this was handled? Scottie D, what you think?
I don't know. I'm really confused by the whole thing. They're asking him to study 4 hours a week. Is that what the number was?
Yeah, 4 hours. 4 hours a week or 4 hours a day. Yeah,
4 hours a week.
4 hours a week. Shouldn't it be implied that your quarterback's already doing that much? I don't know. I don't know if do other teams have this kind of language written into their contracts?
No.
But he signed it. I mean, so if it bothered him, why didn't he say, I'm going to study? Just scratch that line out. You're going to get more than 4 hours a week out of me anyway. I don't know. It's very confusing to me. It seems silly on both sides. It seems silly that the Cardinals would put it in there. It seems silly that he would go along with it. And then later on for it to come out and be an issue after the big contract was signed. And then for the Cardinals to kind of retract and scurry back under the table. I don't know. Very, very strange situation. I don't really know what to make. Make it make sense. Be live. Go ahead. I know you're kind of chomping at the bit on this one. It just doesn't. It seems senseless to me.
I'm going to try to make it make sense real quick. There's a couple things I want to point out. Kyler Murray had 230,500,000 reasons to just say, "Hey, yeah, I can do that for you." Whip it, got you.
Yeah.
Money talks. BS walks. I got no problem with Kyler Murray just saying, whatever, I'll sign that. Because $160 million guaranteed. $160 million guaranteed. Yeah, you can put that in there. It may make me look like I don't study already. Now, here's the thing I want to say about that. There is a reason why. You can sit here and try to walk around on eggshells with the media and everything to make it seem like, oh, well, no, we trust our quarterback. No, you did it for a reason. And you're dumb for it. And then when you retract it, you look even dumber. Kyler Murray, hey, bro, do you? I heard it earlier on one of these networks they would talk about. Somebody made a very valid point. If this dude is doing what he's doing right now without studying, good Lord, what he would be capable of if he actually did study. That's not saying that he does or doesn't study, but I'm going to say this. I think it's silly that they put it in the contract, but when you pay somebody that much, you do have heightened expectations for it. So I think it was silly of them to put it in the contract, for the Cardinals to put it in the contract. Sillier for them to retract it. I just stuck on my guns. I'd be like, hey, here's the thing. This is all just a provision. This is not. I'd have made it seem like, don't worry, other teams do it just like that. They just word it differently in their contract because there's an expectation that is set. There's wording in contracts that we hardly ever see, but they expect this is not an uncommon practice. This just mandating that a quarterback study, that probably hasn't been heard of, or it may have been done before, but we just have greater media presence right now, so we know more. When have we ever? Now let's be real about it. When have we ever gotten a chance to see some of the writing of some of these contracts that we talk about all the time?
Never.
We talk about Dak Prescott and his $160 million contract, $127 million guaranteed. Do we know any of the inner workings of that contract outside of what he makes per year?
I think he has to study an hour a week. I think that was Jerry Jones' provision.
Oh, you know what? Another provision that he has in his contract, he has to convince Trey Dizzle that he should have been born. I mean, he has to do that once a week. I don't know. Trey Dizzle, cut it out. Cut the crap. Anyway, I said what I said. we don't get to see the inner workings of these contracts, so we can't really sit here with conviction and say that this hasn't happened before. But it's just stick to your guns. Don't turn around and say, "Oh no, we didn't mean." What you mean you didn't mean to? What you mean that that shouldn't have been? No. Arizona Cardinals, do better. I need y'all to do entirely better, because you got caught with something silly. It got reported. People didn't respond.
I'm still confused why they put it in there. Behind the scenes, did he have a reputation of not being prepared? I mean, I've never heard that.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's again, we don't know. But now because you put it in the contract like that, and now it's been put in the public eye, now everybody's starting to be like, is he or but it once again, it turns back to the fact of, why would you pay somebody that much if you don't believe he studies enough?
Yeah, that's something I kind of remember, and I don't know if it was in writing like this, but I remember when Tony Romo signed his last contract that he was supposed to take more film study time. They said they wanted him to be almost like studying film to the point of game planning, that type of thing. But I don't know if that was actually written in his contract, if that was just what came out of the time that was part of the discussion. But it seemed to me there was something like that going on with Tony Romo. And at the time, Peyton Manning was like the standard bearer for film study. He was still in the league at that time too. And, like, it's legendary. Like, Peyton Manning studied film of people that game plan against his dad, because he's stuff like, he was looking at every edge he could find, every tendency from any coordinator, from the past, present. I don't know if this is something that others have put in, and we just, like you said, we just don't hear about the inner workings of these contracts, or maybe it's worded different. But I get it. If you're Kyler Murray, you're probably already doing that anyway. So if you see that in the contract, that'd be like somebody offering me a contract and saying, we're going to pay you, but you have to come to work with your shoes tied. I'm like, okay, I'm already doing that anyway, so go ahead and pay me. I promise I'll tie my shoes. I wonder if it was something like that where him and his agent looked and said, that's insignificant. Check, we'll go ahead and do that. And then somehow I just don't understand how it got to be an issue. I mean, it's very confusing to me.
The issue ended up being, more than anything, is with that clause being in the contract, that was a clause that saying, if you don't study 4 hours a week of film study, we can nullify your contract. Tell me, in what world, how do you actually monitor how much film?
Exactly.
How is that going to be brought to a judge? He studied 3 hours and 59 minutes.
Yeah.
We did not get that last minute in. We are not paying him any more money. We want our money back because he missed that minute. How
maybe it's like, maybe the 4 hours is supposed to be like on team facilities, as opposed to on his. I don't know.
It's probably an app or something. There's something that they have, like they could track and monitor how long you watch this or whatever. Can I get an app of the team study and everything? They got entire research teams that look at film and everything and break everything down to. I don't know if I could do that. I could talk about it afterwards, but as far as just watching a whole bunch of film and just like, all right, on third down, their safety tends to drift in about 2 yards here, and he tends to look to the left. If you look to the left, but here's the thing: that's how precise it is. Though I make a joke of it, but that's how precise it is.
He can't see anyway. He can't see it anyway.
There you go. So I felt a height joke.
He can't see over the lineman anyhow.
I knew that's what shame.
Maybe he has to study film from like the lineman's perspective, like Scott, where he's looking at a film just to the backs of jerseys.
Scott, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
That's a lie and a half. that is a lie. People that are watching this on YouTube, don't let the camera fool you.
Very tall. I'm very tall for my age.
Oh my God.
I am not quite 5'9". We'll say that.
Okay, Kyler Murray is taller than you.
Well, I can't see over the lineman either. That doesn't mean anything.
Oh man, and for him to still be able to do what he does at his height is also something else. And now he got paid for it, and he gets paid to not to study film now.
I'll study 4 hours of film a week for $100.
Sure will.
Hey,
Not $100, but I'll study. I won't remember a damn thing. Ed, what you know?
If the Cardinals want me to.
Yeah,
that's $25 an hour. I could do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell them right fast. I'm like, look, they got jerseys on. It's a whole bunch of hand fighting. Number 75 is holding. Ref missed that call. You see that? Yeah, ref missed that. Got some pass interference over there. He flopping. Yeah, I'm telling everything. What kind of play was it? I don't know. A whip, zoop, zip, zip, go route. I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those, some of that nature. All right. When we return here on Sports Bros podcast, the moment that most of us have been waiting for, the verdict of Deshaun Watson. Did he get suspended or did he not? Was it long enough or was it just right? We'll talk about that right here next on the Sports Bros podcast. All right, we're back right here at the Sports Bros podcast. And before we left, we gave a little teaser about what the hell finally happened with Deshaun Watson. Was he going to get 6 games, a whole season, no games at all? And we didn't know. But a shout out to the almighty B-Lab because he was on it first thing this morning. And so, B-Lab, what can you tell us about Deshaun Watson and his participation in this upcoming season?
Well, let's start about let's just go ahead and get the result out.
Okay.
Judge Sue Robinson, which the NFL and the NFL Players Association agreed on to be the governing person over like fines and suspensions, and so it wouldn't be just a all end all do all by Roger Goodell. They agreed on this, and so this is their first case of precedence when it comes to the NFL and their personal conduct policy. And so she decided with all the evidence, all the facts and everything that was presented to her that Deshaun Watson should be suspended 6 games for his conduct off of the field by violating the personal conduct policy. Let me first start off with this. In no way, shape, or form, in any possible way, would everybody be happy about this. No, there was no pleasing everybody. And for everybody that thinks that, oh, we should have got more, oh, we should have got less, oh, it should have been this, that, and the third. Let's take all of that out of it. Because A, you weren't involved. B, you don't know what happened. C, it ain't got nothing to do with you. This is not a slight towards women. It's not a slight towards anybody. This is just what he did off the field, and what the NFL and the NFL Players Association, who they agreed upon, would oversee this, and with the facts that were provided to her, come up with this situation. I don't want to hear, oh, this player got this, oh, this player got that. The judge said it herself that this is a new case. This really didn't she really did not have much to base off on. But one thing that she made clear is that from everything that the NFL has done in the past, there really wasn't such precedent to set to say that, hey, he deserves this, he deserves that. The league itself was pushing for a year-long suspension or longer. But they were also pushing for a year-long suspension because of the backlash from the public. Not because of what he did, but what the public would perceive him as. So,
what did he get suspended for? What did he get suspended for?
He got suspended for egregious activity. He got suspended for non-violent sexual misconduct. nonviolent sexual misconduct.
So it was bad enough to get suspended.
Yes. And the judge even specified that this is more than what other players have gotten in the past for the same for a similar situation. So one thing I've done the majority of the day is that I've been tracking this. I want to see what other networks would say, what the talking heads would say. I'm a fan. I don't know the personal conduct policy of the NFL. I haven't read it, but I can tell you this much. First thing people want to say, they want to compare it to the likes of Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger got suspended 6 games, got reduced to 4 games for accusation of sexual assault, which is deemed of a violent nature. He was accused of rape, sexual assault. I want to put that out there. 6 games reduced to 4. Ezekiel Elliott. I know, Scott, this is your wheelhouse right here, because you expressed a lot of times that Deshaun Watson deserves more. Ezekiel Elliott was accused of domestic violence, which is deemed
never arrested.
Correct.
And why is that? Because there wasn't any evidence showing that was true. Yet he had to sit out for 5 games. Go ahead.
Which of a violent nature. Which again, well, I'm not here to dispute innocence or guilt. That was for a court of law. So this right here is really just a personal conduct situation, and he had to sit out 5 games for it.
And just before you move on, he wasn't drafted in the NFL when that happened. Go ahead.
Okay, I got you, and I got you on that. Greg Hardy was convicted, and after appeal, the charge was later dropped. He got 10 games that got reduced to 4. So when we talk, I'm just talking. The reason why I bring up these 3 cases is because I'm bringing up 3 cases of violent nature that they were accused of that ended up not being proved in the court of law. Deshaun Watson got accused of sexual misconduct, and the judge was clear when she stated this, that this is unprecedented. That she said this was of an egregious nature for the. Essentially, she was saying what was presented to her. Essentially, at the end of the day, I'm gonna paraphrase it. Deshaun Watson may be a creep.
Yeah,
he might just be a little freaky deaky. 6 games. She basically said, "Hey," and one thing she also said, NFL, put something on paper.
That's the thing. This is a scumbag thing to do for the NFL, because they said they wanted him suspended for a year, but they didn't do it. They passed it on to somebody else.
Well, here's one thing: the NFL, they're not. There's lawyers, law degrees all across the board. They knew if they pursued this in a nature that was, again, the guy still to this day hasn't been charged with a thing. Where's the guilt? If you really want to go brass tacks about it, where did he violate a policy?
Where did Zeke?
But I agree with you.
Yeah,
I 1,000 agree with
that's
you.
what makes this such a scumbaggy look for the NFL for me. The NFL and Roger Goodell are scumbags for this whole situation, for not manning up and saying, we think that conduct deserves a year penalty. And that's what we're going to hand down. Now, if you want to challenge me, Deshaun Watson and your team of lawyers, then come challenge me. They didn't do that. They passed it on to somebody else because they wanted to avoid all that. They didn't worry about that with Zeke. They just said iron fist, because Zeke kept appealing and they kept getting pushed back and kept getting pushed back. But iron fist Goodell always gets his way. And he didn't do that this time because he chickened out.
Well, okay. I'm going to go with you on it. Say Roger Goodell chickened out. I think he did it for the right reason, because he knew that the NFLPA was not going to play this time.
Nope.
They were not going to play when it came to this. They were going to protect Deshaun Watson.
So he avoided the fight. He chickened out.
He avoided a fight that he knew he couldn't win.
Why? He could win. He could win with Zeke. He won that one. He won against Roethlisberger. You know why he won? Because he said. And then the owners, you know what they did? They gave him more power and more money in an airplane. They did. They have empowered this guy. He is the be-all, end-all.
The Players Association, once again, they presided over those situations as well. They saw the evidence that was put towards it. There was an appeal, and it went from 6 games to 4 for Roethlisberger. I think it was 6 games. He said he sat out for 5. This one right here is particularly interesting because he was just a freak. Deshaun Watson was a freak.
Yeah,
that's all it was. And at the end of the day, if they would have pursued more than what they did for violent accusations, then the NFLPA would have ate him alive. I think this was a good move for Goodell. Goodell should not have been,
because he was afraid to lose. He didn't want to look bad.
He shouldn't have presided. He shouldn't have presided over any of those. No. He should have never been in that position. I agree with you, Scott. He should have never been in that position. This is a step in the right direction, albeit they did not get the result that they wanted. They know better. Now, here's the thing, NFL. This is where the ball is in your court because they still have the opportunity to appeal and take back over this case. They can still be the end-all, be-all, and Roger Goodell could put his foot down and say a year-long suspension. And guess what? That'll be a lawsuit and a half, and it's going to make them look even uglier than it would before. This right here, I believe, was done the right way. It did not get the result that people wanted. Some people wanted. A lot of people in the Deshaun Watson's camp wanted 0 games because he technically didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I agree, but neither did Zeke. So if Zeke gets 5 games, Deshaun Watson should have got 135 games.
Well, for what?
135.
Accusations of wrongdoing.
Violent, non-violent. There's a big difference there.
Accusations.
Assault versus misconduct. That is a big. There's a difference in that.
They're all accusations. All accusations. Nothing proven.
Of
accusations
of different degree. I'm sorry.
Nonetheless, nothing proven, nothing charged. Accusations.
I see Scott is going to stand firm on this.
That's because I think Roger Goodell has been a scumbag ever since he took over the Shield and was toying around with Pac-Man Jones over his suspension way back in whatever it was, 2005, 6, 7, whenever that was. And he was playing God with Pac-Man Jones. And I'll let you practice now as long as you don't get in any more trouble. And I'll let you have that's not the way it should be run. Like the judge said, put stuff on paper instead of just handing out suspensions and punishments on your whim. Because, I think today I'm going to give this guy 6 games. Then next week I'm going to give this guy 4 games for this offense. Get out of here. Roger Goodell is garbage.
I'm okay. I'm going to ask you this. Eddie Cool, I want you to chime in with this as well.
Okay.
Because there's also public outcry because Deshaun Watson got 6 games suspension for sexual misconduct, while Calvin Ridley got a year-long suspension for gambling. Tell me, what do you feel about that?
I understand that gambling affects the integrity of the game. And, the allegation against Deshaun Watson, that's outside of the game. That's personal conduct, but still, you sign that contract and wear that, that franchise's jersey and apparel, you're a representation of that franchise and you're a representation of that league. So you mean to tell me that that gambling carries more weight than these sexual assaults?
No, but was it proven that he gambled? There you go. If it's proven, if he did it, if he's guilty, give him 17 game suspension. If you're talking allegations and nothing's proven, I don't have time for you, Roger Goodell.
Because like you said, Scottie D, I haven't heard one thing about. Okay, well, here's the sheet, and Like the key term here, fellas, like we said, like you said before, be live on paper. If I see on paper where he betted against, he bet his teams against the Falcons and the Panthers and the Buccaneers and the Saints and the Cowboys. If you have the factual, concrete evidence, okay, I understand it. But
and I think they did, right? In his case, I think they did.
Okay, well, guess what? That's more, but that's legit. But there's the fact, like, okay, it's just. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought like I thought Watson was gonna get suspended the entire season and be made an example out of. If you want if you want my opinion, I said this ain't gonna look good. Then went ahead and got damn Josh Rosen off the scrap heap. You know, tell him he was doing his he was literally sitting on the boy this big around. They got like a as soon as I knew they signed Josh Rosen, I said, and the word around Cleveland was like, it's gonna be some games. How long? But like it was going to be some games. I just think that gambling, sexual assault allegations, and like Scottie D said, it's allegations, and then with the allegations, and not to we here at the Sports Bros podcast, we do not condone or support none of that. None of that. Fully not. No, we don't. We just think that looking at the suspensions and the disciplinary and how it handled. Okay, gambling and perceived sexual assault, and like Scottie D said, there's and then the whole thing with the whole Deshaun Watson case, the longer it played out, the longer it got messy. The Houston Texans was paying off people. Some people came forward and said, you know what, we got bribed by such and such, and it ain't what it is. It just got uglier and uglier and uglier. I thought at one point, I'm like, this dude's gonna get off. This dude's gonna get he's not gonna get suspended no games, but then those 1, 2, 3, and that's all it took. And so now we're here. I'm just saying, I'm like Scottie D. I'm just glad Roger Goodell doesn't have his mitts on the hamburger no more, because like you said, Scottie D, he played around with Adam Pac-Man Jones, he was tinkering. He was tinkering. How about this, Roger Goodell? You take care of commissioner, photo ops, publicity and stuff on that level, and you have some authoritative figures to hand down these suspensions, i.e. Sue L. Robinson, because it's just like Scottie D said, he playing God.
I want to apologize to you both, because there was a purpose and a reason why I did the way I did. Because I sort of wanted to debate y'all.
Okay.
I wanted to bring y'all in with this because I want the public, I want other people to realize when they make these comparisons where they're missing the mark completely. Eddy, you did exactly what I figured you were going to do. You're going to be like, Deshaun Watson with only 6, and Kevin really got 17. Kevin really got caught.
Yeah.
Red-handed, jeopardizing the integrity of the game. I was even gonna throw in this. I'm gonna do everybody a solid, because I like to say all roads lead to Dabo. That is 2 of my former Dabo players that are suspended for 6 games this season because DeAndre Hopkins got caught.
PED.
Yes. Got caught and got 6 games. So I've seen the memes. I've seen the conversations where, Deshaun Watson did this to 25 women and and he only gets 6 games, but you get 6 games for weed, or you get they did some Josh Gordon mess where he got suspended 4 times, and they're like comparing it. I was like, hold up, stop with the number of women. Stop with the number. Stop with it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 25. It's still wrong, but stop trying to put that number up there, because I like the way that these figureheads are trying to make it like, they keep saying 25, but 1 dropped the case. 25, but 1 dropped the case. 25, no, it's 24. Yeah. There was 24 cases brought to him. The 25th one was dropped because she didn't want her name revealed. At day, what you got to hide? What are you trying to hide at this point in time? And so, the fact that he settled, because at the point in time, settlement does not mean guilt. Sorry, people, you may want to think so. He might have just wanted to please leave me alone.
Yeah, some
I will
long
pay
money.
you. I will pay you $100,000 just to stop dragging my name through the mud. You know it ain't true, but you're just gonna keep going until we settle. Settlement comes from both ends. It doesn't just come from Deshaun Watson. It's not an admission of guilt.
Because somebody has to agree to accept said settlement.
So I'm done with that part of it. I'm not sitting here trying to defend Deshaun Watson by no means. I will be first to say that, bro, you a little creepy. You little freaky deaky. Hey, come on, bro. I mean, but I wanted to make that point. Stop comparing it to weed. Stop comparing. It's still wrong. Misconduct to assault. Stop comparing the two. They're not the same. Stop comparing it to performance. They're not the same. Completely different precedent. I want to put that out there. And one last thing I want to put out there as well. You, NFL, didn't do a single thing to Robert Kraft. So what gives you the right, the audacity to now want to put your foot down when it comes to Deshaun Watson? Robert Kraft pretty much sex trafficking got caught and weaseled his way out of it with some lawyer maneuvering. And the NFL, which states in their policy that managers and owners are held to a higher standard, and did nothing. That's why Roger Goodell passed this along, because he knew he'd be eviscerated. I'm sorry. That's where the precedent was set completely wrong. And so
we all agree Roger Goodell's a scumbag. We all agree.
Pretty much.
Well, I think we agree that Roger Goodell's a scumbag.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson's a little freaky deaky. Come on, bro. Do better.
And Robert Kraft, you're still nasty. You're still nasty.
And he in my penalty box forever.
All right.
Forever.
All
so
right.
that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I think the punishment fits, but people should not try. They're trying to make a story out of it that really isn't a story. She didn't have much to go off of. So six games get the same amount that somebody did for a violent sexual assault that was an accusation. Because all of these are accusations.
Yeah.
It made the league look bad. Hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't have done close to that. So we got to give you something.
Yeah, we got to give you something.
For the fact that he got 6 games is actually a lot, but he should have got something because, bro, where there's smoke, there's fire. Not saying you're guilty, but you put yourself in a position that you should not have been in at the end of the day. So that's where I stand. Me and Scott ain't going to agree with this. Zeke didn't do it, and Zeke had to sit out. But Zeke, it should be Tony Pollard should be running the ball for the Cowboys at this point in time. Zeke
boy,
shell of his former self. I said what I said, but
oh boy, here we go. Sounds like that's a segue to our next section of the show. And fellas, with that being said, looking at my phone because I ain't got my watch on. Guess what time it is?
What time?
What time is it? What's going on?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. It is time, as you can see, for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. And with that being said, hey, yo, button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming up after this.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and ever so lovely Ms. Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. You should know how we do this. We ask y'all a question, you give us an answer, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bowls podcast. With that being said, Scottie D, what's this week's question for the choices of the voices?
This one was for the fantasy nerds, which includes the 3 of us.
Yep.
Looking for your top 3 fantasy football choices for the 2022 season. Fantasy football is coming up in a couple weeks, boys. When do we know it? We have a date for our draft. Do we know? Eddie, we haven't picked that out yet.
It's usually at the end of August, usually around like a week or two before, like give us preseason right after like the third preseason game.
Yeah.
Or something of that nature.
Yeah, I'm gonna
okay, so stay tuned for that. We'll make an announcement on that.
For those of you paying attention, it's highly likely it's going to be on a Tuesday. So mark your calendar sometime Tuesday within the next coming weeks. All right. Here we go with the choices of the voices. Rodney Bellamy, what's going on, man? He says Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, and Cooper Kupp. Hashtag can't wait in his Bart Scott voice.
So Cooper Kupp was the receiving leader last year, and Jonathan Taylor was the rushing leader last year, right?
Yep.
Looking for the same.
Yep.
Rodney Bellamy. Okay.
Yep. And Dalvin Cook, we just gotta hope he stays healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has the potential to be a top running back in the league. So there's really nothing wrong with this list. I don't see anything wrong with this. I see something wrong with the next answer, but I mean, just go ahead. Go ahead. He already knows he did wrong. So I mean,
bring on the water, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Here we go. We got Trey Dizzle. He said every time I draft Dak Prescott, he gets hurt, which is one time, 1 year. Come on, man. He said so. I'm drafting Dak Prescott. Fingers crossed. But he said my other two would be Jonathan Taylor and Jamar Chase. I like the Jamar Chase choice.
I got a question because I don't believe him. Because I believe, didn't Trey Dizzle draft Dak Prescott in our league last year? Didn't we make a deal about that?
Yeah.
I think he may have.
I think he did, and he did not get hurt last year. I think he is. Do I have a hat somewhere? I need a big cap, as like the kids say now, because he is capping. Oh. So, but he just wanted to put in a dig to Dak Prescott and forgot that we do a little research around here at a Sports Pros podcast. So Trey Dizzle, you know what? Penalty box. I'm putting you in the penalty box. Speaking falseness, words that are not true.
Actually, Dak Prescott did get hurt last year.
When?
Didn't he do something to his calf?
When he threw the winning touchdown pass in overtime against the Patriots to CeeDee Lamb. He pulled up limp on his calf. Then they had a bye week. Then he missed a week.
He missed 1 week.
And Cooper Rush went to Minnesota and got the Sunday night victory.
He missed 1 week. Okay. All right.
Injured. That was because of an injury. Injured.
He's still going in my penalty box because he wished harm on a player. Yeah. I don't care how much you do not like Dak Prescott and his $160 million contract, $127 million guaranteed. Penalty box. Trey Dizzle, cut it out. I know it's for comedic value, but you silly. Eddie, cool. Let's keep it going.
All right, let me make sure I split this next one up into 2 paragraphs. All right. All right. So we got Matty Ice, Martin Tracy. I love it. Hey, Matty Ice, I wouldn't have it any other way. All right. He says, I'm playing in a keeper league this year, and I'm keeping my first round pick last year. This means I lose my first round pick this year, and I'm good with that because whatever I pick, I might have drawn this year. I would be fine with. Well, I'll be just fine with Austin Eckler. Okay, that's a good one. He said so. He is definitely in my top 3. The scoring rules matter, and in my league, a running back catching a pass for a touchdown is double the score, and it's half PPR. Just saying. So my next 2 would be Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry. And he also says, I want a number 1 running back for my first pick this year based on talent level drop position wise, and the larger pool in other positions before it drops off. A strategy that never hurts your team, building.
All right. So he's going Austin Eckler.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry. He went all running backs in the top 3. Okay.
Yeah, he went all running backs. Not mad at you.
And I could see that, and because he definitely mentioned the style of the rules of his particular fantasy football league. So I can see that he's applying the analytics.
Our favorite word, analytics.
Analytics. Oh my God. But but guys, you do know that fantasy football is all analytics. It really is. It's sometimes it does not apply on the actual football field. But when we got the armchair quarterback situation, we are looking at PPR, looking at this, that, and the third. Man, yeah, I get it. I get it. This time analytics does apply. Matty Ice, I like it.
Especially when it comes to Austin Eckler, because he can catch the ball and run like a bat out of hell. So points matter. Any way you can get them. All right, Diamond Dave Ramito, he said, I don't know. I better get going on this. Off the top of my head, I'll go with Allen. I think you're talking about as in Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, and Cooper Kupp. And then he said Herbert and Eckler are in the top 10 also. A very sneaky duo. Sounds like a combo breaker.
A lot of people big on Justin Herbert this year for fantasy because this is the year that he's going to be coming into his own, so to speak. Comfortable.
Oh, that's a fantasy football no though. You don't draft a quarterback in the first round. That's a risky.
He's just picking three.
That's a risky move
unless it's dynasty league.
Okay, I can see it, but yeah, this the quarterback position.
But if you're getting Josh Allen along with Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp, then that's you're covering three big positions. So
no, that's not what you asked, though, Scottie D. Asked who said who should go one, who should go 1, 2, 3 in the draft. That was your question.
No, who do you think are the three best?
It's it. Your question. I'm reading it right here. Oh. Who do you feel are the top 3 players that should be drafted coming into the season? 1, 2, 3. Pick number 1. Pick number 2. Pick number 3.
Well, I didn't categorize, so maybe that's just how he felt to pick it. So.
And he's wrong. So I mean,
okay.
I said what I said.
I think Scottie D went full Roddy Piper on him. Just so you got the answer, I changed the questions. Scottie D went full Roddy Piper on us. Oh man.
Hey, I ain't mad at him because
is that all?
It can be interpreted.
No, I got 2 more.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Scott Querton, aka Zing Zang Bing Bing Bong Bong, earlier, he said, yeah, I was like, I know who this is. Oh man, East Atlanta Pooh, you remember that be live? Anyway. All right, so
exactly. I had a conversation with him about that. I'm like, who in the hell is a zig? What?
Yeah. I saw it and I was like, I see the picture. That's Scott. Okay. I got it. All right. So here we go. All right. And he said Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, and Dalvin Cook in no particular order. We got a lot of people high on Dalvin Cook this year. He got to stay healthy. Got to stay healthy. All right. Tony Bella, he said quarterback, Josh Allen, wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, and running back is going to be a tie between Austin Eckler and Najee Harris. I had Najee Harris last year, and that was a struggle 1,000 yards, let me tell you. Whoo, boy, because the Steelers' offensive line was rough. So, yeah.
If they ever get their offensive line together, Najee Harris is dangerous.
Yeah.
He's dangerous. It was just he was about the only option though, and they almost gave him the Christian McCaffrey treatment like the Panthers do. And I'm like, yo, my man, save. And that's another name that has not appeared on anybody's list. Christian McCaffrey. God, can he stay healthy? Please, can he stay healthy? Because we just okay, I'm okay. We can continue. Yeah.
All right. All right, Scottie D. With that being said, first of all, shout out to everybody who participated in this week's Choices of Voices. Rodney Trey Dizzle, Martin Tracy with 39 sentences and paragraphs, Diamond Dave Ramito, Scott Querton, aka Zigzag Bing Bing Bong Bong, and Tony Bella for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. I love our listeners. I swear I do. Scottie D, who you got? Your top 3 in fantasy football.
I got CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, and Tony Pollard. Those are my 3.
I know you tripping with that damn Dalton.
I know. What is that hashtag? IKYFL?
Yeah.
I know. I know you.
Like everyone else, I'm big on Jonathan Taylor for obvious reasons. Guy, even if he has a fall off this year of a couple hundred yards, that's a fantasy stud. I like Dalvin Cook a lot, and I've been wrestling between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Justin Jefferson, I think is the guy I'm going with is my third guy, just because I think Joe Burrow might have a few more options to spread around when it comes to Jamar Chase. There's going to be a lot of offensive weapons. So you could conceivably see Jamar Chase have like a 2 catches for 80 yards kind of week, here and there, and just other people pick up the offense for them. So, but I think Justin Jefferson is the guy.
Don't do other people. When you mean other people, you know who we talking about. All roads lead to Dabo. T. Higgins. So you better say his name with respect. T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd, come on, man. But I had to throw that in there. But no, I agree.
Tyler Boyd, from the reigning, defending ACC champion Pittsburgh Panthers. Let's go Pitt. All right. Anyway, over to you, B-Live. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way. Thank you for mentioning that and putting me in that direction. Go ahead, B-Live. Who you got? Use your 3.
I want some cookies. Go ahead, B-Live.
I did that. I really, absolutely. I'm upset with myself right now.
Well, hey, you like a fly the bugs apple. You just right into it.
Yeah. I walked right into that. I had to mention my Clemson Tigers, and he definitely. I left the door wide open. All right, so I'm gonna do this just a little bit different, because a lot of people have been people, when it comes to fantasy football, they're still real heavy on running back, because that seems to be your breadwinner when it comes to fantasy points. The game has changed a bit. I'm liking more wide receivers now. It's a more passing game, and a lot of these leagues are PPR leagues where you get points per reception. And one player that has not gotten any love, I cannot believe he's not gotten one slight iota, not one bit of love. Arguably the best wide receiver in the game. He's reunited with his college quarterback. Nobody mentioned Devontae Adams. What? Oh my goodness! Please, everybody that answered this question, please, can I be in the same league with y'all? Y'all gonna be the Sports Bros? Because I'm picking Devontae Adams, because I feel like he's gonna have a break. I can't even call it a breakout year. I think the dude is gonna be sensational with Derek Carr. I'm picking him. I got to give props up. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor is just that dude at running back. Jonathan Taylor was like, and I don't think Cooper Kupp can repeat what he did last year. I think the camera's on him. The video is out there. The defensive coordinator is gonna be like, no, he ain't gonna do this again. He ain't gonna do this a second year on us. I'm seeing Justin Jefferson. I think that just the dynamic of Minnesota right now, they really don't have too many options. And Justin Jefferson is that type of dude that he's going to get it regardless. He's very similar to a Devontae Adams. They're going to get the ball regardless. Cooper Kupp he did that last year. I just feel like I think he surprised a lot of teams by his elusiveness. But I think when it comes to putting the ball in the air, outside of D-Hop, which he's suspended, so that's the only reason why he's not on my top 3. But I'm going with Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, and Jonathan Taylor, and I'm going to give an honorable mention, because this is a make or break position. Mark Andrews at the tight end position.
Mm-hmm.
That's a maker. If you don't pick one of the top 4 tight ends, you don't get any production at all. So you might see me. He's not going to go 1, 2, 3, but I'm giving him honorable mention because I might pick him if people are sleeping. I might pick him second round. Might pick him third round, just to be a little, just to be a little crazy. I put my strategy out there. I don't care. I've won my league 3 times, so so I've been doing it right a majority of times, more than any other people in the Sports Pros Fantasy Football League, aka formerly known as the Eddy.
Yeah, he's won. You've won this league 5 out of 3 years. Eddy Cool, who you got?
He's so sick of me here.
Our mathematician has won this 5 out of 3 years.
As I wipe my face, you know what, man? They say running back is everything, but this dude just impressed me so much last year. I gave him a nickname. I don't call him Jamar Chase. I call him that damn Jamar Chase. All right, because he makes things happen. You know, his size, his speed, his ability to get to the ball, he makes things happen. So, hell, he just might go number 1 as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. With running backs, I'm a little torn between 3. Eckler, because he can catch out the backfield and he's a terror between the tackles. Jonathan Taylor, because he's just Jonathan damn Taylor, and Derrick Henry. Only reason I might be kind of leery about Derrick Henry because there was a chink in the armor last year. But it'll be interesting to see where he comes from that. So that could be my 1, 2, 3 there. Let's see. And then the third one, I'm with you, Be Live. I had him in my fantasy league last year, and he was productive. Mark Andrews. But the only bad thing about it is Baltimore, for some strange reason, they just don't want to give no kind of wide receiver, no kind of money. Willie Snell don't count. All right.
That makes Mark Andrews that much better. Like, that's why it's one of the things where he's your leading receiver.
Yeah. Duvernay don't count. Who else?
They lost Hollywood Brown. So I mean, like, I don't even know who is there to catch the ball for Baltimore right now.
Duvernay and Snead, but I think Willie Snead gone.
Didn't they get another brown or a green or red, purple, something like that?
They got I think they got a rookie. I don't know his name though, but it's just So that's where I'm at. Yeah, Mark Andrews, he's a sneaky guy you got to watch for. And I think people didn't say Christian McCaffrey because they need to see a full 17 or at least 15 games from him, not just 1, 2, and I pop my thigh muscle. So Be Live.
What? Hold on. Okay, let me just look. I had to look this up just for the sake of looking things up. Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, okay, yep. Rashad Bateman,
Devin Duvernay. And James Prochet II.
Who?
Who? They don't even care. I don't.
The Ravens. You know what the Ravens' goals? You know what the Ravens' goal this year already is? Let's survive training camp. That's what they want to do.
You know what, Ravens? Y'all ain't spit, bruh. Pay Lamar Jackson. You got to pay him if you're gonna give him this. If you're gonna give him this to throw the ball to.
It's like the time. That's like the time.
Man.
Hey, look, that's like the time LeBron took 3 guys named Booby, Smush, and Ira to the finals. Remember that. Okay. Just remember that. Scottie D.
Please don't say that on there. Tim Livingston might be listening, and he gonna take that. Like, LeBron James the GOAT thing. And you gonna say he's the GOAT, he's the greatest of all time, don't you?
And he didn't win with Booby, Smush, and Ira. Where you might as well go ahead and get Pookie and Ray Ray too. Scottie D, what's on tap for next week? Choices of the voices.
Okay, who do you think is more likely to win another championship, Tom Brady or LeBron James?
Oh boy! Oh my God!
Wow!
Who is more likely to win another championship, LeBron James or Tom Edward? Pat, you know the rest. Tom Brady. And that'll give us something to talk about next week.
And we already know who Matty Ice is going to pick. All right, we're going to mark one down for Thomas Edward, Carmichael, Patrick, Fitzpatrick, Jabold.
The mother bleeper came back. And he brought Julio Jones with him. Not too happy about that.
Oh, man. Got to face him twice again.
It was nice having a year off with no Julio. Yes, we might be able to do something. But now, have you seen? I don't know if it's true, but I'm gonna go back and check. Have you seen the Atlanta Falcons have already named their starting quarterback?
Who? Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
I
don't know if it's true, but go double check because I be seeing some things, and we might need to go fact check that right quick. And I was like, this is what we're doing already. And also, Be Live and Scottie D. Guess who says he wants to start a job in Carolina? Matt Corral.
Hey, fight for it, bro. Let's get it. I wouldn't be mad. I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't be mad if he's our starting quarterback next year.
No,
I wouldn't be mad at all.
No,
it's over, man.
Cam Nation. He came home.
It's over.
He's back
and left.
They did him wrong before. They did him wrong again. It's just.
He'll never come back.
It's Cam Nation.
Man,
but yes, it is
corner of my mind.
It is a fact that the Falcons did name Marcus Mariota their starting quarterback. This is your chance, Mariota. You got one more chance.
One more chance.
Desmond Ridder is sitting there. He's like, my time will come. So we shall see. I would not be mad if OK Corral was our starting quarterback next year. I think he again first rounder, but he got hurt. That's the only thing wrong with him. I think he can make the throws. I think he's more than capable. I don't believe in Sam Darnold, and we'll see what version of Baker we get this year. Do we get the chip on the shoulder Baker, or do we get woe is me Baker? I don't know.
I tell you what, Sam Darnold's too busy kissing girls, getting monos, and seeing ghosts. And we'll be right back next week with another edition of Choices Other Voices. Coming up next, Scottie D, we almost going home. It's Pepper, baby. And please don't sneeze. We coming right back at you. Get it. The best way to get the pepper is out the pepper grinder. Coming right back at you with Round of Pepper.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
All right, y'all heard a woman. It's time for us to get the hell up out of here. But before we go, it's a round of pepper. Baby, don't sneeze. Whatever you do, cover your nose and don't get no boogers on my microphone. All right, you know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really, here to engage, enlighten, and entertain. And there was another E. And educate. Yes, educate. I swear, I mix them up. It's late, y'all, but we gonna get some spot.
You ain't got that right in like a month and a half. I just been letting you just keep going at this point.
Hey, look, long as there's 4 E's in no particular order. But with that being said, on this day in history, back in 1961, the St. Louis Cardinals of the National Football League beat the Toronto Argonauts of the CFL, the Canadian Football League, 36-7 in an exhibition game in Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
Did you just sneak in a Canadian A in the middle of that?
Yeah. I'm going to watch some Letterkenny after this and get some Timmys. Sure am.
Hey, that's a Texas size 10 for there, good buddy. Love that show. Love it.
Great show. Yeah, so the St. Louis Cardinals, who are now known as the Arizona Cardinals, they beat the brakes off the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL 36-7 in an exhibition. And I was like,
that's interesting. I never knew they did that.
Me neither. No, never knew that.
I gotta ask a question. Did the Argonauts have the extra player? Because they play with 12 people on the field, right?
They only got 3 downs in the U.S. The NFL team got 4 downs.
and I know
that's why they beat them so badly.
And I know that fourth down messed them up. Man, what are we doing out here? What the hell is
yeah. I'm usually on the 2 downs punt.
Yeah.
And then we gotta in the wide receivers, we have to stay stationary or one of us can move at a time.
Yeah.
That threw them off. That'd be interesting to see though. That would be interesting to see an exhibition where like an NFL well, not really because the NFL team be a little bit more skilled than professionals.
Give them one of your XFL teams or your USFL.
Hey, and let them play Canadian rules. I think that'd be interesting. I'd pay money to see that.
Yeah.
By the way, here's a little bonus pepper on the house. You don't have to pay for this one, but the Dallas Cowboys just signed the USFL's MVP this year to their roster.
Kavontae Turpin. That's right. Yeah, just signed Kavontae Turpin. I think the running back, he's a free agent because I remember seeing him on the draft board. But anyways, over to you, Scottie D.
Well, in real sports this past Saturday, Amanda Nunes, the UFC featherweight champion and former bantamweight champion, set out to regain her title that she lost to Juliana Pena last year, and she did in decisive in a very decisive decision. She just basically manhandled Juliana Pena. That kind of a feeling out process in the first round, but it went 5 rounds, and Pena was on her back for the majority of the time. She had her head busted open along her hairline. Nunez had a little bit of a shine or a little bit of damage. Juliana Pena fought her butt off, and while on the bottom position, nearly, I wouldn't say she nearly submitted Amanda Nunes, but she definitely made her work by nearly putting her in many submissions. Great jiu-jitsu from the bottom position. But this just proves that Amanda Nunes' loss was not the beginning of a deterioration of her skills, but just a bump in the road. She had a knee injury that supposedly affected her performance in the last one. But now she's back on top of the world, both the UFC women's featherweight champion and bantamweight champion. Amanda Nunes, the Lioness, back on top of the UFC world. Possible next fight could be a third fight with Valentina Shevchenko, who she won a controversial split decision last time they fought. V-Live, over to you.
All right. I feel bad I missed that. I was too consumed with SummerSlam and tractors and Brock Lesnar and chairs and tigers and bears and beasts. So my
that was great. It was great. Oh, it was great.
I still hate the fact that the people that are sitting in the front row on the other side, all they can see is the bottom of the ring. You paid thousands of dollars to get that close, and you see the bottom of the ring because you couldn't see the other side.
Hey, pass me a Gatorade while the ring is up. Yeah, Gatorade, the red one. Yeah, I'll take that one. Give it to me.
Oh man! But my first pepper point, because we were talking about contract clauses earlier, when we were talking about Kyler Murray and how ridiculous that contract clause was. This contract clause may be just a little bit necessary. Reported earlier this summer that Zion Williamson got paid a max contract extension worth at least $193 million. The new deal will kick in at the start of the 2023-24 season, and the figure could rise up to $231 million if Williamson makes an All-NBA team and wins a major award like MVP or some defensive, something like that. But there is a clause. Zion Williamson will have periodic weigh-ins throughout the course of the deal, and if his weight plus his body fat percentage is above 295, he could lose money. And what does Zion Williamson say in response to that? The ultimate goal is to win a championship. That's what we're all striving for. We're hungry. Bruh, that's not the choice word that you should use.
It's at the top of his vocabulary.
We're hungry. No, bro, I got weight problems myself, but I'm not a professional athlete. He has a weigh-in clause to stay in shape. Zion Williamson, you got 231 million reasons to keep in shape.
I think he has to watch 4 hours of film a week too, if I'm not mistaken.
Just whatever, as long as that film is not on the Food Network, then we'll be good to go.
Eddy Cool. Welcome to Diners, Drives, and Dives. Guy Fieri here, and I'm finna go eat some more damn food.
Eddy Cool, the ball.
Be live, perfect segue into talking about contracts. All right, so as of a few days ago, I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with her. I'm a follower. I follow her on Instagram. I really do. Liz Cambage of the LA Sparks. All right, formerly of the LA Sparks. Why is she formerly of the LA Sparks? Because it's alleged that she agreed, Cambage and the Sparks agreed to a contract divorce. What the hell is a contract divorce? I heard of a Hollywood divorce, but a contract divorce, what the hell is that after she quits the team? All right, so I guess like early in February, she's like, hey, we about to go win a championship, all gung ho and everything. And then next thing you know, their coach, he gets fired. Derek Fisher, he gets fired after a 5-7 start, and as of right now, they are 12-17 and damn near out of the playoffs. The funny thing about it is, under their new coach Fred Williams, they have gone 7-9 since 7-8 according to this article after Derek Fisher's dismissal. Now, the Tulsa Shock, they drafted Cambage second overall in 2011, but she only played in the 2011 and 13 seasons before taking a hiatus, according to the Bleach Report, from the NBA to prioritize her career in China. And with the Australian national team in 2018, she returns to the WNBA on a multi-year contract agreement with the Dallas Wings. The Wings then dealt Cambage to the Las Vegas Aces in 2019 after she requested a trade out of Dallas. And then the 30-year-old center made the All-Star team in each of her 2 seasons with Vegas. So in 25 games, she averaged a whopping 13 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per contest. I guess she's like, you know what? I ain't feeling this no more. Because, you know, she has a pretty big following on social media where she models and she DJs as well, too. And I bet you the money is far better than what they pay in the WNBA. Over to you, Scottie D.
I never heard of a divorce before when it comes to sports, but very interesting. All right, so last year we were constantly talking golf on Tony Finau watch, because he kept showing up to the party, but not winning. And now 2 weeks in a row, Tony Finau has walked off the course a winner. Won the Rocket Mortgage Classic this past week. Congratulations to Tony Finau, man. I mean, I love the fact that he's finally getting into the breakthrough part. And I'm going to tell you something. It ain't because these guys have left and gone to the Live Golf Tour. That's not why it's happening, because those guys are floundering. Henrik Stenson won the Live event this past week, and it's more of a party at this point. They're playing 54 holes. They got DJs and dances and playing a little golf, and it seems like all of them are a little bit unmotivated. Henrik Stenson went into this week mad because he got stripped of the Ryder Cup captaincy. Ooh. So he went into this with a chip on his shoulder. He went in angry, motivated, ready to play, ready to show the world. And the other guys, I guess, are just shotgun starting and probably shotgunning some beers and working their way around the course. They're not doing a whole lot of winning. And, you know, I heard actually my dad was one of the guys that said this past week, you know, this PGA event's not all that good because of the Live Golf Tour. Well, let me just tell you, here are a couple of names of the guys that missed the cut on the PGA Tour this past weekend. Ricky Fowler, Gary Woodland, Matt Kuchar, Lucas Glover, Harris English, Jeff Ogilvy. Those are guys that just missed the cut. So maybe the event wasn't as good because that's a list of winners, major champions, and stars who just didn't play well in this particular event. Other guys that did make the cut: Jason Day, Patrick Cantley, Siwoo Kim, Adam Scott, Will Zalatoris, Keegan Bradley. I mean, there's a lot of good golfers left. Just because Justin Thomas and Scotty Scheffler took the weekend off and Rory wasn't around doesn't mean that the PGA is floundering because Liv is having a party on Trump's golf course. So congratulations to Tony Finau for winning a legit PGA event this past weekend. Be live to you.
Tony, 2 times?
2 times, Tony Finau. We're not going to get political on this show. I want to say something, but I ain't gonna say it because it don't make no sense to me whatsoever. Don't be programmed, people. Anyway, my second pepper point. You when it we're gonna go to football here. There's a lot of responsibility that's put on players, different positions and everything like that. Like quarterback has got to lead the team. Sometimes audibles to play, got to read the defense, etc. So got to do a lot of things. Wide receivers got to read the route, audible stuff like that. Linebacker, linemen, they got to read the shift and all kinds of things. Got to see who's the Mike Blitzer, who's the Will Blitzer, et cetera, et cetera. There's all kinds of factors that go into position players and different positions when it comes to the game of football. One position, though, you have one job, and that's place kicker. You have one job. You might have a second job where you do the kickoff, but essentially you have one job. And what you can't do is you can't hit innocent bystanders with a when you're kicking a field goal. You can't, like, nobody's in position for you to hit, like, so let me just go ahead and see. Andrew Mevis, formerly place kicker of the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's vying for a spot. He's a rookie, but unfortunately, he didn't just miss 3 field goal attempts. According to the stories, appreciate the ESPN staff writer Michael Duraco, he wildly missed 3 field goal attempts. One of them that hit former Dallas Cowboys head coach Dave Campo. Like, my man is probably having a conversation, just chilling. The guy's going up for a field goal. And I'm assuming for him to, I don't think he's going to be standing behind the goalpost. He's not going to be standing behind the goalpost. So he's got to be standing well off, probably having a conversation, talking to field goal. Catches one beside the head. Pow! Bro, wait a minute, bro. The goalposts are that way. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars said, bro, this is a National Football League. You ain't going to make it. Yeah. So, Andrew Mevis, we barely knew you. Eddy Cool, the ball.
I'm just trying not to get hit by it. I didn't have a third and final pepper point, but I do now. It is high school football season across the country. Almost 21 years ago, Minnesota Vikings lineman Corey Stringer, he died due to heat stroke and heat exhaustion. I will say this to everyone out there: if you're working in the heat, if you're practicing in the heat, because this is 2-a-day season, 2-a-day time of training camp. These are the dog days of summer where it is unbearably hot. I don't care where you at in this part of the country, it's going to be hot. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Make sure you hydrate. And if you're not feeling good, don't be afraid to take a knee and be like, look, coach, it's hot and I'm about to, I might need to sit down for a little bit. So, whenever you're out there, just think about, Corey Stringer and how long he could have been here if the Vikings organization would have did right. So, hydrate, take care of yourself. All right. And that's all I got to say. Over to you, Scottie D.
All right. So I remember in 2001, Barry Bonds hitting 73 home runs and passing Mark McGwire's record, which had only put up, I think 5 years prior or 3 years prior. And I remember in a post-game interview, he said something to the effect of when facing the pressure. Well, it was probably a little harder for me because McGwire only had to beat 61. I had to beat 70. Mathematically makes a lot of sense. Well, on August 1st of that year, Barry Bonds hit home run 46. On August 1st of this year, Aaron Judge hit home run number 43. That's a pretty good clip as far as trying to catch 73 home runs in regards to Barry Bonds. And I know, looking back, we know that there's a little bit of controversy and that the records are tainted when it comes to Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and Barry Bonds and the home runs they hit. Well, you're not hearing that now because Aaron Judge is about 7'8", and just an absolute monster. And I mean, he steps in the batter's box. And this year, as of this recording, he's batting .299, and he's been healthy. So, guys, we're starting August right now. At the beginning of August, going into September, with 2 months remaining, it might be time to start paying attention to the fact that we might have a chance to see a little bit of history made should Aaron Judge stay on this just amazing clip that he's been on as of late. He the other night he had a grand slam early in the game, and then another home run just to top it off late in the game. That was on Sunday night. So these are some of the things, we all root for our teams in the championships and then the World Series and all that stuff. But these are some of the memorable things that happen along the way watching baseball. So just something to keep your eye on, because it's not that far out of reach should Aaron Judge continue on this clip. So just something exciting to watch more as we go into the dog days of summer for baseball, and then down the final stretch of September. Looking forward to these last 2 months of baseball season. Trade deadline, baby. Here we go. Be Live. Take us home.
Where's Juan Soto going?
Oh, yes, man. And just a quick little nugget right there. Aaron Judge bet on himself and gambled, and he's about to get paid. Somebody's going to pay him a buttload of money because the dude is on fire. I can tell you what's not on fire, and this does me a great honor, privilege, and pleasure to announce this third and final Pepper Point, because this dude is one of the coolest in the game, without a shadow of a doubt. He is one of the coolest. He did initially was recruited and then went to LSU, but now he has transferred to the University of Nebraska, and I get to bring him up again because I'm talking about none other than the coldest to ever do it, Crawford.
The
him again?
Yes,
him
sir.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I am proud to announce, with the NIL deals that are going on in college sports.
Ooh, what kind of deal did he get?
And this is coming straight from their post. And I quote, SOS Heating and Cooling is excited to introduce our new spokesperson, Huskers wide receiver, Dakoldest Crawford. If anyone knows which HVAC company is the coldest in Nebraska, it's him. You'll be seeing a lot more with him soon. He's got an NIL deal with an air conditioning company. That is the coldest to ever do it, Crawford. Yes, sir. That's how you make money off of your name.
Scottie D.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. I almost lost that Pepper Point. I was like, I know I had a good one. I couldn't find it, but I found it. Yes. The newest spokesperson of SOS Heating and Cooling in Nebraska, the coldest to ever do it, Crawford.
Wow.
What's up, y'all? It's the coldest thing going on in Nebraska. Oh, man. All right, fellas, we got all our Pepper Points in.
That'll do it.
Yeah, man. Send me home.
I'm gonna send you home. I ain't got nothing to say to that. Be like that might drop. And then closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They'll really appreciate it now more than ever. Drink water, be good, love each other, and be honest. Even though it might cost you, at least you say you're not a lying ass and you told the truth. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Be Live. Take us home.
Yes, sir.
And just like that, we're out. Y'all take care. Bye. Enjoy your Tuesday. Yeah, that's it. All right, y'all. Bye. Hey, it's Eddy Cool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. And do you want some more of the Sports Bros Podcast in your life? Wait a minute. Don't answer that. The answer is yes. And I know you want some more of the Sports Bros Podcast in your life. Do us a small favor. Go to the description box, click our Linktree link, and you'll see all the links on how to follow the Sports Bros podcast. Once again, thanks for listening.